Welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be another Real Talk Mama edition, and in this video we're just going to be talking about taking care of your little baby while you're sick or recovering from something. A lot of us, if we did give birth, we did have to experience taking care of him while recovering from giving birth, and we all know that that was a challenge, but we also have to be prepared for having to take care of him while we're sick and recovering from random surgeries. I ended up having a random gallbladder surgery just a couple months after having him, and I didn't expect it at all, so it was just awful. I didn't know what to do. I was really scared, of course, just because of the surgery, but then, questioning how am I going to take care of him when I am recovering from that. Fortunately, my husband's work allows him to work at home if he needs to sometimes, and so they allowed him to work at home for an entire week while I recovered. I still helped take care of him, but it was nice having somebody there because I was on painkillers and I just didn't feel like I should be alone with him. Whoa! What is you doing? What is you doing? So that was really, really nice. I guess the big thing that everybody needs to remember, including myself, is ask for help, because anybody can help you, whether it's your family, your parents, friends, your spouse or partner, or even just hired help. You could hire a temporary babysitter or something. Whatever you gotta do, just ask for help. There's a lot of people that would probably be willing to help you that you didn't even expect. Just ask. And the thing is, with recovering from surgery, for me, those first few days I was on painkillers. I had a lot of pain in my stomach. I had a lot of incisions, and so I couldn't really hold him like I normally would. I definitely couldn't have held him like this. His knees are digging into my stomach right now. So it was really nice having my husband to help me with those things. And so if you have a friend, you can just invite them over and say, hey, do you want to come over and watch movies with me all day? If my baby needs picked up, or if there's a few things I need your help with around the house, can you help me? I bet you anything they would be willing to help. And a lot of us mamas out there probably would take payment in a bottle of wine, just saying, or beer, or ouch, or hair, because he pulls all my hair out. So ask for help. Just ask. Something I really wish I had while I was sick with him was one of those face masks that they have at the hospitals. I know you could probably order a big pack of them from Amazon, and I really felt like I struggled when I would hold him while I was sick. I was trying to keep my face away from him at all times, and I had a fever, so I was really, really cautious about, how I held him and making sure I didn't breathe on him. So I feel like having those face masks would really help ease your mind that you're not ever breathing directly on him. So next time I'm sick, I'm definitely gonna get some. I may just order some before then, that way I always have them ready to go. It's really, really hard because you can't give him as much snuggles and kisses as you normally would. I don't think I kissed my baby for like an entire week. I didn't even kiss him on the cheek or the head because I just didn't want to get my germs on him, obviously being sick. It was just so hard because you have this so strong attachment to your baby, and you feel like they need you and you need them, and now you are just doing the more labor parts of parenting. You're changing his diaper and feeding him, and all those things are great because you're taking care of him, but you don't get to do all the warm and fuzzy things about being a mom. Playing with him a lot and snuggling him and kissing him and giving him love. You can't do a lot of those things while you're sick, so it was really hard. Whoa! So it was really hard for me that week not being able to do that. And even recovering after my gallbladder surgery, I couldn't really snuggle on him and stuff too. So I just feel like in general, it's really hard while you're sick or recovering because you just can't give them the same, amount of love as you normally would. And I feel like that's just kind of hard emotionally as a mom not to be able to give your baby love. And when I say love, I mean love-ins, snuggles. Obviously I love my baby 24/7. I really just try to touch him as minimal as possible. I would let him play on the floor a lot, or have my husband hold him. I just tried not to touch him unless I absolutely had to. I felt like I had to be a lot more cautious with taking medication this time being sick. Also, of course, with recovering, because you have to be 100% in your right mind while taking care of your baby. While recovering, I was on hard painkillers, so of course my husband was always with me. He worked from home, like I said. But with being sick, I had to be really careful when I have the flu or a bad cold before having a baby, I would always take NyQuil because it knocks me out and it makes me sleep solid, and I always feel a little bit better when I wake up. But I was so scared to do that this time around because I'm now a very light sleeper because of him, and I didn't want to be knocked out and either one, not wake up, or two, if I have to wake up to feed him or take care of him, I didn't want to be completely out of it because then I was worried I'd fall asleep holding him or I just wouldn't be all there. So this time I only took Dayquil. I'm not breastfeeding, I'm using formula, so I didn't have to worry about that luckily, but a lot of you mamas do, so that's kind of hard too because, like, you know, what do? Do you just do the whole pump and dump just like when you would drink alcohol? I don't really know. So that's a whole nother thing, you know, that we moms have to worry about is breastfeeding and medication. Because when I had my surgery, I was on those painkillers. If I had been breastfeeding, I'd have to only use what I had stored, which wasn't a lot because I was having a lot of trouble breastfeeding, which is why I'm not anymore. And so, you know, I really don't know what I would have done. I would have had to get donations or go ahead and switch to formula then, you know, I don't know. That would be really difficult all in itself. I guess another big thing is, they always say this even just with parenting in general, is to nap when they nap. But while you're sick, definitely do it, because I felt like I didn't want to, because just like normal when he was sleeping, I tried to get stuff done around the house even though I didn't feel good. But now looking back, I really should have just slept. I should have always just laid down in bed or on the couch next to him while he was sleeping and really got my rest, because I feel like rest is the way to recover from anything. One thing I was doing while I was sick and recovering, and you know, some might think this is great and others may think it's a little weird, but I gave myself a lot of positive affirmations. I would take time in the shower, my husband would be watching the baby, and I would just sit in the shower and I would just say things to myself, positive things. You can do this, you're doing great, you're a wonderful mother. You kind of feel down in the dumps when you're not 100% yourself, and I wasn't really being that 100% their mom right then because I couldn't be. You know, I couldn't give him love or kisses, and I couldn't hold him as often, and even though you really didn't have a choice, you kind of feel like a crappy mom. And so I had to constantly remind myself, like, I am great. I am doing everything I am supposed to be doing. I'm giving it 100%. I will feel better soon. Like, it's all gonna pass. And so I feel like doing that really helps remind you you are doing the best that you can. I talked about that in my Real Talk video about being a first-time mom, always repeating to yourself, I'm doing the best that I can, and that is enough, because we really do need to remind ourselves about that, because I feel like moms and dads too, we have that like parent guilt where you just always feel like you're not doing enough, and so you just have to keep reminding yourself that you are. I do sometimes use YouTube videos to keep him entertained. There's various different YouTube videos out there that are like high contrast and lots of shapes and movement, and he loves them, just kind of when we need to. While you're sick or recovering, don't even worry about it. Do whatever you have to do. I had one of those YouTube videos going pretty much constantly because I had to do something that would be entertaining to him, because I couldn't physically really entertain him the same. So just do whatever you have to do. You're not a bad mom because you set your baby in front of a TV a little bit more often, or let him watch a video on your phone. You gotta do what you gotta do while you're not there 100%. So don't feel guilty for having to do that. You really just need to be patient, because I feel like I was trying to rush myself. I pushed myself while I was recovering. I would hold him even though I was in pain, and when I was sick, I was almost mad at myself that I wasn't better yet. It took me a while to get 100%, and I feel like you just need to have patience, because you can't rush either of those things. You can't force yourself to be better. You can't force yourself to be recovered. So you just have to be patient and keep reminding yourself, like I talked about with affirmations, that it's all gonna pass. You're gonna get better. It's all a matter of time, and things are gonna get back to normal. And guess what? As soon as things are back to normal, you're probably wishing that you had another break. The very last thing I really just wanted to touch on is just cry. If you feel like you need to cry, just let it out. He cries all the time. He lets it out all the time. You can too, because I definitely did. If you guys have any tips about taking care of kids or babies while you're sick or recovering, please let me know in the comments below, because it's obviously gonna happen again for me, and so any feedback from you guys would be great. If you guys like this video and you do like the real talk type videos, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!